and welcome back to a new video. So today we have my April TBR. Now I cannot believe I'm already filming this video. Like, March has gone so fast. It's not quite the end of March when I'm filming this video, so there is still a few days of March left for me to try and squeeze some reads in. So I do want to carry over some books from my March TBR, but there is a chance that I could read them before the end of the month. So do with that information what you will. Go and get yourself a nice drink, a cozy blanket, and get ready to watch this video. My drink of choice today is a vanilla iced matcha because it is my favourite thing ever. And yeah, this one is not quite up to scratch though, I cannot lie, but I will still drink it because it is still yummy. So yes, today we're going to be doing my TBR, and I have my TBR jar full of various prompts to choose from. So I think I'm going to choose 7 from here, and then I always have a Patreon book club book that I read each month. So that hasn't been decided just yet, so I could end up choosing a book that could be that, if that makes sense. So I could end up choosing a book for this video that might end up being that book, if that even makes sense. Huh? But either way, I will have a book club pick as well next month, so bear that in mind. But yes, I'm going to choose 7 from here, and then I think I might mention a few books I know I particularly want to read or carried over from March. But I guess let's get straight into it. So let's choose our first one. Let's just mix these up a little bit and let's go for this one. So this one is a free pick. Okay, so what book do I want to choose with my free pick? That is the question, because it might be one that I end up reading before the end of the month. Decisions. Okay, so I think my free pick, I'm going to choose this book here, which is actually a book I have read before, but there is a but. This is slightly different. So this is an arc for one of my most anticipated releases of the year, which probably makes no sense saying it's an anticipated release because I've read it. But this is like a re-release. So this is one of my all-time favourite books. I've recommended it a lot of times, and that is Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. So if you haven't been here for the last couple of years, let me fill you in. I initially read an arc of this book back in 2022 because I have kind of known Liv through Instagram for a few years, and I absolutely adore her, and she was kind enough to send me an e-arc of her book when she was publishing it herself, and I read that entire thing in 24 hours. I was obsessed, and I think the original e-arc I read was like 800 pages long, and I flew through it. It was so good. And then it was published in the indie version, and then it has now been picked up by a traditional publisher, and we are getting this edition this year. This comes out in September 2024. Would highly recommend you all go and pre-order it. This is a fantasy romance with found family. We have dragons, we have war and political intrigue, we have the knife to the throat scene, and just so many good tropes, so many good plot points, so much character development, and I honestly just absolutely adored everything about this book, and I'll never shut up about it. But I am so excited for this because this is obviously a kind of revised edition. There's been a lot of changes made, so things are going to be different, and this is, I think, a little bit shorter than the one that I originally read. So I'm so excited to read this new version of a story that I absolutely love, and like I said, I highly recommend you guys go and read it. So I was very kindly sent a copy of this, and I cannot wait to dive into it. So I think this is perfect because I'm so excited to read this, and I'm glad I got a free pick now because I don't think I could have chose anything better than this. So I'll read the new synopsis that's on the back of the book. So it says, Princess Elowen Atara was ripped away from her dragons by her father. Her vengeance is a promise signed in blood, but to succeed she must ally with her father's greatest enemy, the ruthless yet undeniably charismatic Commander Caden. Burn for each other, but nothing will distract Elowen from freeing her dragons, not even love. This has reluctant allies to lovers, soul bond with dragons, a found family, sizzling banter, scorching spice. So yes, this book has everything. We have kind of a runaway princess. She's in hiding. There's a hidden kingdom. She has to go to her enemy in order to take down her father. So it's a beneficial agreement they enter into to try and free her dragons as well. But they find romance along the way. Honestly, if you take any book rec from me, let it be this one. But I know I've talked about this long enough and we're only on the first pick, so I'm going to shut up now. But yes, I'm very excited to have this one on my TBR. Okay, so let's do our next one. Let's see what this is. I think this shouldn't be upside down. Is this upside down? Oh, I got free pick again. Okay, I'm actually, this is cheating, but I make the rules. I'm going to put this one back because I feel like I don't need a free pick. I want something to prompt me. So I'm putting that back in the jar, and we're going to do a different one because I want like prompts. Like I need something that like makes me think of a book to read rather than just get to choose what I want, because I honestly don't know what I want at the moment, which is the story of my life. So let's choose another one. Let's hope I haven't just picked that same one up. Is this upside down? Okay. So this is the prompt here, which it says on my shelf for over a year, which, wow, there's a lot of books that have been on my shelf for over a year, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, what do I want to read that's been on my shelf for over a year?
A few years later.
I kind of want to choose this one, but I don't actually know if it's been a year. I know I got this in a Fairly box, so I need to figure out when I had this because it might not have been a year. Honestly, the concept of time is just a total blur to me at this point. Oh no, okay, so this hasn't been on my shelf for a year just yet. Almost a year, but not quite a year, so we're gonna have to choose a different book. But I want to read this one. Okay, I'm gonna keep this to one side because maybe there'll be another prompt that I can choose this book for. So I'm gonna leave that one there and go and try and find a book that has been on my shelf. There is loads of books that have been on my shelf for a year. I just don't know, like, what. I just don't know which one of them I want to read, so this may take a moment. Okay, so I've got 3 different options for this one and I'm not sure which to choose, and they're all quite different from one another. So we have The Wicked Fox by Cacho. I actually started this book in like 2022 or 2021 and I just never finished it, and it wasn't because I wasn't loving it. I just got one of those weird slumps where like I didn't want to read fantasy. So I think I was up to this page, which is 140. And yeah, I just didn't finish it. So I really want to start finishing books that I have like put down and softy enough and like get back to them again, but I'm not sure if I definitely want to read this one. I think maybe, am I in the mood for this? I'm in a weird mood at the moment. I don't know, I kind of want to read YA fantasy. So like there's The Wicked Fox. This one follows our main character, who's a gumiho, which is basically a 9-tailed fox, and I think she has to like consume the energy of men to survive. And then we have our love interest who's human. They get like kind of tangled together, and that's kind of all I remember from it. I know it's inspired by Korean folklore, and I remember I was really enjoying it. It was just like a really fun time, so I think I might go back to this one, but this is definitely an option. Then we also have Lightlark, which is another one I did very briefly start. I literally got 64 pages into it before I stopped reading. I just remember with this one that the writing wasn't great, and not in terms of like it necessarily being bad writing, it was just very clunky, and the way it was edited, I think it was more the editing of the story than anything. Like it just didn't flow, and I was just like, I don't have the mental capacity to like read this right now. Like it's not reading very easily, if that makes sense. So I softy DNF'd it. I recently got Nightbane, which is the sequel to this one, and I've seen some fan art which is absolutely stunning that is making me want to read this series now. So I am very tempted to pick this up because I've heard the romance in the second book is amazing, and I love books with like trials and stuff in, and this one does kind of have, I don't know if it's specifically a trial, I can't remember, but it's some kind of like trial or something similar to a trial, and it's got Hunger Games vibes as well. So I would really like to get back to this one, so maybe this one, but I am leaning more towards The Wicked Fox out of the two. And then we have a romance, which is a YA romance. This has the fake dating trope, and it has a main character who loves romance books. And I recently read Night Shift by, I think it's Annie Crown. I read that in one sitting and I loved it, and the main character in that loves books as well. She is like a perpetual bookworm, and that one is a college romance. So obviously that one is spicy and older. This is YA, so it's a lot younger, more contemporary. But like since reading that, I want another book where the main character is obsessed with books. We have a romance, it's like a school or college setting, and this one I've had on my shelf for probably like 2 or 3 years. I'm not gonna lie, it's been quite a while. I think I was gifted this book like a few years ago, and I just never got to it. So yeah, I feel like this could be a fun one. It's really short as well, and the font is quite big, so I feel like I could fly through this one. So I think realistically it is between these two, but it's such a tough decision. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go with Wicked Fox because I've been wanting to read this again for so long. So I think I'm gonna choose Wicked Fox for a book's been on my shelf for more than a year, because I own 2 copies of this as well. So they have both been on my shelf for well over a year. I got it originally in a Fair Loot box, and then I bought this paperback to annotate. So yeah, I think we're gonna go with this one, and then I'll keep this to one side in case this can be used for like another prompt. But so far we only have 2 books picked out, and this video is probably already like 10 minutes long. So I need to stop yapping, okay, and just get on with it. Okay, let's pick our 3rd prompt. So this is our 3rd one, which says a book with a cat on the cover. Oh, do I do this? See, there is this one book that's been on my past 3 TBRs which I still haven't read, and it has a cat on the cover. Let me go and grab it and we'll see. Okay, so this is the book that has been on my last 3 TBRs, which is What You Are Looking For Is in the Library. This one has a cat on the cover here, and this is one that I do really want to read, and I could potentially still read before the end of this month. I have the audiobook downloaded. I've just not been in an audiobook mood. But this one is basically a story about the discovery of connection and how listening to our hearts, seizing different opportunities and reaching out to people can like lead us to fulfill our dreams. So it's a very, very nice kind of motivational story, very wholesome. It's translated from Japanese, and I do really want to read this one. So potentially, but I feel like I'm cheating because this is still on my March TBR and I could still read it. So I don't know if I'm going to do that one. We could also do Days at the Murasaki Bookshop, which has another cat on it here. This is also translated from Japanese. I think I was sent this from the publisher when I was still a bookseller, and one of my patrons has read this and really, really enjoyed it. So I kind of do want to add this one on. It says it's a tale of families, love, new beginnings, and the comfort that can be found in books. So it's a similar vibe to this one, and it has that kind of like book loving feel, as well as having like a really, really nice kind of storyline. So I think I'm going to choose this one because I don't want to keep putting this on my TBR and I might still get to it. So yeah, we're going to go with Days at the Murasaki Bookshop, and this is the author and the translator here, just so I don't mispronounce any names. So yeah, we're going to go with this one. I feel like this will be really, really nice, and I might also download the audiobook for this one, plus it is super short as well. So we're going to go with that one. Now we're on to our 4th pick. Okay, I wish I'd put like a prompt in here that said finish a book that you already started but hadn't finished. I might need to add that in. This is the next prompt, which I don't know if it's focusing. A sci-fi. Ooh, I don't really read sci-fi, so this is like not a great prompt for me. Oh no. Okay, I'm pretty sure I do have maybe a Junji Ito that's a sci-fi, but I feel like I should choose an actual sci-fi book. I don't have a lot, but I should start reading some of the ones I have. Let me go and choose one. Okay, I'm pretty sure this one is science fiction. So we have The Iron Widow, and this one I think I got in an Illuma crate box a while ago. So I know this is a space opera, so I'm pretty sure that's obviously sci-fi. What am I talking about? That is sci-fi. So yeah, this one says it's The Handmaid's Tale meets Pacific Rim in this dazzling blend of Chinese history and mecha science fiction. So there's a concubine, a pilot, and their plan is to assassinate the ace male pilot responsible for her sister's death. So that sounds amazing. I've heard a lot of good things about this book as well, and I do really want to read more out of my comfort zone in sci-fi. Like, I love sci-fi when it comes to movies and shows, but I just never read it. So I definitely do want to do that more this year, and I feel like this will be a really good way to get me to do that. Plus I feel like this will be a really good book to start with. So yeah, I'm really excited actually to read this. I've had a lot of good things. So yeah, we're gonna choose Iron Widow for the sci-fi. This is a really interesting TBR so far. Okay, so let's choose our 5th prompt. I'm trying not to knock them all out. Okay, let's go for this one. Okay, so a book starting with the... Oh, see, I really want to choose another book that was on my TBR last month, and the month before that, and the month before that. But I won't. The. Which book do I want to choose? The Curse of Saints. Yes, okay, yes, I knew I could find a prompt for this one. So yeah, The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramas. So this one I have heard so many good things about. I've heard this has romantasy vibes, and I don't see that many people talking about it, but I mean, this is the main reason why I want to read it. Like, look at that. I love a good knife to the throat, and this seems like it's enemies to lovers. By Masters of the Queen, Aya's blood oath ensures she protects those she fights alongside, including Will, the Queen's enforcer, and Aya's bitter rival. When rumours of dark magic rise in a nearby kingdom, both are sent to investigate. But when Aya's... I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but I'm going to say it this way anyway for now. But when Aya's power acts beyond her God's given affinity, she risks being turned into a weapon in a war she doesn't know how to win. And when her relationship with Will unexpectedly shifts, neither knows the danger that will follow. Oh, this just sounds so me. It sounds so good. I cannot wait to read this one, and I'm obsessed with this Fairy Loot edition. And I'm pretty sure the second book for this is either out or coming out soon. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to read this one. I hope that I love it. I just feel like this is going to have me like giggling, kicking my feet, screaming, like yes, I am so happy I could put this on my TBR. So now we have 2 more prompts to go. So let's choose the second to last prompt. Okay, so here is our second to last prompt here. Romantasy, yay! I love my past self for putting this in here. Okay, there are so many books I could choose for Romantasy, so let me really think about this decision. All my hardcover Romantasy is pretty much here, like my indie ones, and then I do have a bunch on my shelf over there. So, oh, see, there's one of these or 2 of them I really do want to read. However, they are both potential picks from my Patreon book club, so I don't know if I should choose them. Oh, but I do have this one that I recently got for my birthday, which could be fun. Oh, I don't know. This is so difficult. Oh no, I don't know which one to go for. Let me just see how things are looking over on Patreon. Because if one of these doesn't look like it's going to win, then I can choose that. So let's have a little look. Oh, okay, so they're both kind of like potential. Ooh, And one of these has been on my TBR recently, I think. So I don't know if I should choose that one. I think I'm just going to have to choose this book anyway. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So that is A Dawn of Onyx by Kate Golden. So yeah, I think this was on my TBR last month or the month before. I honestly can't remember, but I know it's been on at TBR. This is a Romantasy, and I honestly can't remember a lot about it. I just know she's captured by a king of darkness and she's forced to find the light within. That's all it says. That's all I'm reading. I kind of want to go into this not expecting too much, not knowing too much, and just have a really fun time with it. I've heard a lot of good things about this one, and I do have very high expectations. So I feel like going into this not knowing too much will then not make me like set my expectations a certain way, and I'll go into it not expecting anything. I am saying expecting too much here. You guys get the idea. I just want to go into this not knowing much and just enjoy it. I feel like I'm gonna love this, but again, you never know. And honestly, I'm struggling to find that 5-star feeling recently, so this could be the one, it could not, but I'm gonna add this to my TBR because it's been on a few, and that's because I do want to read it. So we're going to go with this one. I will just leave this here in case anyone does want to pause it and read the synopsis so you guys know what it's about. So now we're on to our last prompt before I get into some mentions of books that I know I want to read this month. So here is our final prompt, which is sports romance. Okay, I don't read a lot of sports romance, but I do definitely have options. So I do have a sports romance shelf, so I'm gonna go and check that out and decide which one I want to read. Okay, I'm pretty sure this does qualify as sports romance. I mean, that cover is very sports romance vibes. So this one is basically about this girl who tutors the new star quarterback in exchange for a few fake dates, and they fall in love. So we have fake dating trope. I think it's set at like a college. And actually this one isn't too long either, and I feel like I need shorter books at the moment. So I haven't really heard anyone talk about this, but it's First Down by Grace Riley, and it's the first book in the Beyond the Play series. So yeah, I don't really know a lot about this. I think I bought this when I was like leaving Waterstones, and I like ordered in a bunch of books to buy before I left, and I think this is one of them. So I must have saw like a review for it somewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna add this one to my TBR because I do enjoy sports romance and I like fake dating, and I feel like this will just be like a quick, fun, easy read. So we're gonna choose this one for the sports romance prompt. Oh no.
It was at this moment that she knew. She fucked up.
You guys won't believe what I've just done. I want to cry because look what I've just done. I've just knocked that entire glass of matcha over. Oh no.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
Okay, mess has been cleaned. that was stressful. But this is my selection of books that has been chosen by my TBR jar, which I'm very happy about. I feel like we've got a good mix of books here, and I'm really, really excited for all of these. So hopefully I do get to some of them. I never end up reading all of the books I choose because I don't stick to TBRs. I like to use TBRs as like a guide, and then I kind of just go off my mood. So those are the ones I've chosen via the prompts, and now I have some books that I want to mention that I do want to read this month. So I really want to read Anne Liang's I Hope This Doesn't Find You. I recently read This Time It's Real by this author. Absolutely loved it, and now I just want to read everything by this author. So this is a rivals to lovers romance. Basically this girl sends a lot of hate emails to her rival. He's low-key obsessed with her. They fall in love. It's a YA romance. It's going to be so fun. So I definitely do want to get to this one in April. Then I do want to finish The Name Drop by Suzanne Lee, which has been on many of my TBRs. This is another YA romance. I think it's YA, or maybe it's like a college one. I can't remember. But yeah, I've talked about this so many times now, so I'm not going to go into it again. But these are two that I definitely do want to get to in April, and hopefully I will. I might even end up reading these before then and reading them in March, but we'll see. But these are just two I did want to mention just in case I don't get to them before the end of the month. They will be on my April TBR. And then I'm also planning to read a lot of manga during the month of April. So I don't have like a huge list, but I know I want to get through a lot of volumes of Yearn of the Dawn. I really want to read True Beauty Volume 2 and 3 if I haven't already. I also want to start making my way through some of my memoirs that I have on my shelf that I haven't read yet. So those will be ones that I just kind of pick up whenever I feel like it. So I will include those in like my reading vlogs and stuff, so you guys will know when I'm reading then. But I think that kind of concludes everything for the month of April. I hope that I have a really good reading month. I feel like March is slowly getting me out my reading slump because I've read more so this month than any other month, which is a good sign. So hopefully that continues on into April and I get a lot of reading done. But yeah, let me know down below if you've read any of the books that I showed in this video. Let me know what your thoughts were. Also, do let me know what you're planning to read in April. I love seeing what you guys are reading and just chatting to you guys in the comments about books. So yeah, let me know in the comments. And if you did make it this far, leave a spring emoji as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will leave a link to my Patreon if you did want to join us with the book club buddy read. There will be a spoiler filled vlog, there's reading sprints, there's a monthly readathon, there's a Discord and lots of other extra exclusive content. That is all on my Patreon if you are interested. So that will be linked down below along with the links to all of my social medias. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you're safe and well. I hope you're reading lots of good books, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!